when the barbecue's got to be right. Go and get yourself some DennyMike's.
Hey y'all, Denny Mike here, cooking easy peasy with you. This is a new concept that we're going to share with you. We like to cook as easy as we can get away with. Now what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do some nice grilled tomatoes, and I'm doing grilled portobello mushrooms. So what we're going to do is, first and foremost, as you know, my spray, sprinkle, spray mantra starts with spray your cooking surface, okay? Now, I use canola spray. This actually is not the high heat type, but it is, it's canola spray. It works. Just be careful if you're on high heat, because it is flammable and it will kick back on you, so be careful. So we've sprayed the surface of the grill. Now I'm going to put my tomatoes on. I spray the surface that is right over the heat. That is going to be the skin side. I am just cooking enough up for me and the team. I'm going to, the whole concept is spray, sprinkle, spray. What you want to do when you're cutting these tomatoes, try to make sure that you've cut them right at the equatorial center of your tomato so that they stay flat on the grill. So what we're doing basically now is I've got, my fantastic is going to be, I'm going to spread an even coating right like that. I like to make sure that it's that we cover the surface. This is lower in salt, so you don't have to worry a lot about using too much. But this on grilled vegetables is fabulous. Of course, this is my seafood seasoning, and it's just fabulous. Anyway, that's that. Now what I want to do is sprinkle my cheese. This is nice freshly grated Parmesan Reggiano, and I always love using the real McCoy because it's absolutely fabulous. It's all about garbage in, garbage out. If you use high quality stuff, always the highest quality, then your results are going to always be certainly something you can make book on. All right, so I like to put about maybe 1/4 of an inch of cheese on there. Oh boy. Okay, so there we are with the cheese. And now what I want to do is sprinkle just a touch. Oh, pardon me. Oops, almost didn't get ahead of myself. Here we do have some fresh basil, some nice fresh chopped basil. Adds a little color, but such a beautiful flavor. And just like that, and just enough to cover the top. Well, not cover, but to color the top, I should say. But it's a fabulous flavor. Now, I use my extra virgin olive oil. You can see I've got it in a nice handy little squeeze bottle that I use for my old sauces. And it works great. You just want to drizzle it on, just so that you have enough to hold another little teeny layer of fantastic. Okay, and that's going to finish that off quite nicely. Okay, just a little touch on the top. And that is going to get our grilled tomatoes going. I like to use about a medium-high heat, which is, if I'm cooking on a flat-top griddle, I use about 300 to 325. On your grill, you're probably going to be reading somewhere in the area of 350 to 375. So that's good. Always, though, be mindful of your heat, because everything needs to be controlled, okay? So we're good on the tomatoes. Now we're going to add the grilled portobello mushrooms. I like to use a mushroom that's about 6 to 8 inches across. This is probably about 6. Beautiful. I generally take the stems off. This looks like the stem has pretty much been removed, if you will, so I'm going to leave it. But I'm going to show you again Denny Mike's concept of the mantra of spray. And then we put these on. Let's see, I got 2 of them, so I'm going to do that. Now I spray the fins quite generously because that's where we're going to season. And I've got to cut back again because I got to, whoop, went the wrong way on that, but that's okay. Got the gloves on. All right, now that we have the chick magnet that I was looking for, this is what I absolutely love to use on grilled portobello mushrooms. When you taste this, you'll know why. Now, you know my tagline, one taste is all it takes. So here we go. We have sprayed. Now we're going to sprinkle what I call, you know, an even coating, but you can be reasonably generous because we're lower in salt. Okay, but I like to, you know, I like to make it rain. So you don't see me jabbing like this. I'm trying to just with the wrist make it go like that. So we have our seasoning. We now want to go, we say spray, sprinkle, spray. Here's the spray, here's the final spray. And you can see I go a little heavier on that just because I want that to start melting the salt and the sugars if there are any in the rubs. Certainly most of my rubs have salt. The Chick Magnet and Sublime Swine both have a little bit of turbinado sugar, though it's some of the stuff that makes it quite magical. So there we are with my grilled veggies, and there you are for the vegetarians out there. Great little side dish, appetizer. You can do the Portabella burgers. Now I'm going to come back at the point where we're ready to finish these off. I've got to flip these mushrooms. What I want to do with the mushrooms is see liquid coming up into the fins. That tells me that they're ready to flip. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Spray, sprinkle, spray, and we're going to let them finish off. So the tomatoes, both of these are actually going to cook about the same amount of time. I'm going to give them probably 6 to 7 minutes aside on the mushrooms, and the tomatoes are going to stay face side up. And I don't have the luxury of broiling to brown the cheese, but you could use a little home cooking torch or something just to put a nice little browning on that cheese, but not necessary because that'll melt quite nicely. So I will close the lid. I want to maintain that heat. Like they say, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. Now, sure, you're going to, cook however you're most comfortable, whether it's lid up, lid down, cook your way. Just be mindful of your heat, mindful of the temperature as well, because you want to make sure that you are cooking to temperature and not by time. I use a digital read thermometer. I suggest if you don't have one, it's the most critical tool in my box, in my kitchen. I suggest that's the first thing you want to go out and get. All right? Cook your way, but spray, sprinkle, spray, y'all.
There you go.
All right, y'all. It's been 5 or 6 minutes. I'm going to take a peek. I think I'm about ready to flip, so let's go ahead. And there we are. I've got liquid coming up on my portabellas. I'm actually doing very nicely on my tomatoes, so I think I'm going to turn that heat down now. Again, it's all about control. Okay, we're ready to flip. I actually like to just put a little touch and now flip these. And we're going to do the spray, sprinkle, spray again here. Just a light little touch. My Chick Magnet is right here. I don't use as much on this side because you really don't need to, and just a nice light coating, just like that. And of course, we finish off with the overspray. Shroomage. Now these are going to be kind of tricky to lift out. Put that right there. Let me get this and let me work it the way I need to work it, because you'd like to have them presentable. Okay, look at how, oh my goodness, look at those things if they aren't done just right. Wow. All right, so we have the makings of a feast. Pardon me for not really having all of my serving utensils and everything else, but you know how it is. This is what we do. We roll with it. So, we're going to eat. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video we did for you. Spray, sprinkle, spray. It's all about one taste is all it takes, and it's like cook your way, but always spray, sprinkle, spray. See you next time, you guys. We're going to dig in.
When the barbecue's got to be right, go and get yourself some DennyMike's.